Well, good evening, Campfire crew. This is Tony and Nasty. Old Nasty. Old Nasty called me a little while ago and said, "Hey, T, what are you doing?" I said, "Sitting on the couch." He said, "You know you can't get caught sitting at home." Well, good morning, Campfire crew. This is Tony and Stella. Stella, where are you? Stella. Stella's on the boat in the shade. Checking in from the boat. Okay. Yesterday, we went fishing with a buddy of mine. Can y'all see them geese? What you gonna do? Anyway, yesterday we went fishing with a buddy of mine, and we went Shaky Head fishing. And we caught 2 or 3, and it was fun. The fishing video's coming up after I get through out here. But we went Shaky Head fishing, and I want to show you what Shaky Head fishing is. So Shaky Head fishing is a type of bait that you use. It's a type of weighted jig head. Let me get it up close so you can see that. It's a type of weighted jig head with a rubber worm on it. Shaky head fishing is what's called a type of finesse fishing. Finesse fishing means you're fishing slow, where it's enjoyable and you're not running and you're not making 5,000 casts. Shaky head fishing is more of real slow down fishing, enjoying yourself and having fun. To me, that's having fun. My favorite kind of fishing is finesse fishing. So I want to show you how to hook a shaky head. This is just kind of a tutorial 101 for shaky head fishing. When you hook your bait, there's some more geese. You want to make sure that your bait is as square as it can be. So you see this bait has a flat side and then it has a rounded side. You want to come in the center of your bait up to where it starts turning round at. When you see your hook start rounding off, from the bottom side or the flat side, push your hook back out as close to the center of that flat side as you can get it. Push your bait all the way up and spin it over with your flat side facing the tip of your hook and push it all the way up. Can y'all see that thing has little barbs on it? Push it all the way up to where your bait goes up over top of those barbs. Those barbs holds that bait in place. Next, let the tip of your hook or the round part, the circle part of your hook, wherever it hits the bait at, mark it with your thumb and then go under the bottom side of your bait and push your hook in where that thing barbs at. What that does is, well, it gives me the ability to put that worm on and that worm be straight with my bait, or reasonably straight. We could probably get it a little straighter. There we go. So we've got that thing reasonably straight with our bait or with our shaky head. Now, that's how you bait one. And I'll be honest with you about worm color. I like to use a lot of darker colors. Darker colors for me works better. And I don't know why, but they just do. So this is a black worm, but I use brown worms or dark blue worms or anything like that. So most people will typically fish a shaky head on a spinning reel. So the rod that I have is like maybe a 7-foot rod or a 6 something. It's way over 6 foot. I could read on it, I guess, but I don't have my rod reading glasses on. It's a 7-foot rod, and it is a, well, it don't say. I would at least say that it's a medium heavy rod or a medium, somewhere's in that neighborhood. This thing is real stiff. I like to refer to it as a 2x4, so I like to fish with a 2x4. The stiffer the rod is for me, the better I feel one when it picks my bait up. All right, so, and I always use a spinning reel. You can fish a shaky head on a bait cast reel, but for me, it's a lot easier to fish on a good spinning reel. So I've got a 7-foot rod. It's a Daiwa rod, and it's real stiff rod. So let me show you how to cast. And a lot of people cast a lot of different ways. There's nothing written in stone how you do that. Just know that. To me, when I cast, I like a good overhand cast because I want to get as much distance as I can away from the bank. And since I mentioned the bank, I like to spot fish or spotted bass fish. So down around my general area on Lay Lake and Mitchell, there's a whole lot of spotted bass down here. So there's two major kind of bass around our area. There's our largemouth bass and spotted bass. Spotted bass are real aggressive fish. And in the video that you're about to watch, that's what me and Nasty caught, were some spotted bass. So I want to show you how to cast this thing, and then I want to show you how to work that dark colored shaky head. When you cast, I like to get a full overhead so I can get some distance on that worm. Now, I'm gonna get where you can see my rod tip while I'm hung in the grass already. Once I cast, I let it sit because I want this thing to go to the bottom. Once it gets down on the bottom, I give it a few minutes and I watch my line the whole time that thing's sinking. A lot of fish are gonna pick that shaky head up before it ever gets to the bottom. So a lot of fish do what's called suspended, which means they'll set 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 foot off of the bottom. So on the way down, as that bait passes them, they'll pick that bait up. So if you watch your line jumps when they pick that bait up. If they don't pick it up and it does make it all the way to the bottom, I like to hold my rod at somewhere's around a 45-degree angle, somewhere's in that neighborhood. And when you get that bait on the bottom, you twitch the end of your rod. You're not twitching it enough to pick your bait off the bottom. You're twitching it just enough to make that shaky head sit there and jiggle while it's laying on the bottom. So after a few seconds, if nothing picks it up, I pick my rod tip up and I pull my bait back toward me. Once it sits back down, I take the slack out of my line and I jiggle it. Jiggle just my rod tip. My line jiggles and it makes my bait jiggle down on the bottom. It makes it shake, henceforth the name Shaky Head. I make the bait sit on the bottom and move and quiver. I'll let it sit for a minute. If I don't get a bite, I'll pick my rod tip up. The whole time I can feel if I have something pick it up or something bite it. Once I pull it toward me a few feet, I stop and I jiggle. Then I pick up and I start working it toward me. And I do that all the way to about halfway back to the boat. Once I get it about halfway back to the boat, I go ahead and reel it in because I want to fish somewhere down along the bank. So just as an FYI, this is what I look for on the bank. I look for steep ledges or hills that come off because the contour of the river is going to do the same thing the hill does most of the time. I like to look for rocky areas. If I can find some rocks underwater, there's a spotted bass laying in them rocks. And I look for indentions in the bank. Here comes a good one. If you like to finesse fish, when you going down a river and you see dips and cuts inside of the river wall, so no riverbank is straight. They all got indentions or little dips. It may not be 3 or 4 feet back into the bank, but inside that 3 or 4 foot, them spotted bass like to get out of that current or get in the edge of that current and wait for bait fish to come by, and they ambush that bait fish. So any kind of little indention where the water changes, where it slows it down a little bit or makes some kind of little eddy or something like that, those spotted bass lay there and they're waiting. So in the video you're about to watch, me and Nasty, a buddy of mine, we go spotted bass fishing, and we go in the evening time. It's already 90-something degrees down here in the state of Alabama, and fish are not biting good, but we still caught a couple and we missed several. So we had a good time. And remember this, we go out to have a good time. I know people fish for different reasons. A lot of people will fish for tournament fishing, and a lot of people will fish to, hey, I'm gonna catch these and eat them, and that's all fine and good. We go fishing for the fun of it. We go fishing to give us something to do, to get off of the couch and enjoy some life. So I hope y'all enjoy the video. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial about how to shaky head fish. All right, Campfire crew, we got us some ice, got us some bait, and got the boat ready to go. Me and Nasty's out of here. spot, Campfire Crew. First spot. Got him in the boat. My God, he wouldn't look for it. It's a good fish. First one in the boat. Do you see where I'm at now? You see him on the ground? Is that information you want to share? Gotta get you away. What about that point going to your mama's house? There's a fish on that side of the road. All right, you two. There's number 2. All right, Campfire Crew, this Tony and Nasty checking in from the boat. Okay, we had...
Looking at us like we're crazy.
I don't care. We had a good day fishing. We caught a couple. We missed a few, but we had a good time. Nasty, did you have a good time?
It was okay. I skunked Tony, so that's all that matters.
That is all that matters. All right. A bad day fishing is better than a good day sitting on the couch. So y'all remember, life's an adventure. Don't get caught sitting at home. You should have your rear end out here in the boat with me and Nasty not catching no fish.